Battle control initialized.
Let's get ready to RAGL! Hello everybody, this is Tailix and I am my own personality. And today we are watching my RAGL match, home match against Wippie. And I can tell you now, the first thing I did was move out. Oh yes, and for the record, I'm always playing as Great Britain. And Wippie is playing as the endgame extremist Germany. So this would be quite an interesting lineup. So it's still a allies on allies fight, which I generally find quite fun. So what I've done here, a little bit different. I've actually queued up a pillbox expecting a possible early rush because this map, I hate this map. The reason why I picked it is because people hate it. I want to make it a bit more challenging. I'm thinking of playing possibly my last of my matches on this map. The only good thing, and I mean the only good thing on this map, is there's no derricks to worry about, nothing to capture at the beginning, so building an engineer is generally not required unless you're being absolutely cheeky. So obviously I've moved down the road a bit to open up all the 4 ore fields around my base, and hopefully late game I'll have that many harvesters to keep the mind down a bit. Whereas Wippie here has started all the way back in the corner for that couple of extra seconds of build time, yes, but he cannot reach, as you can see, the other 2 ore fields unless he does some long distance mining. So yeah, Wippie here literally pinning me into the top 3/4 of the map at the moment. Top quarter, sorry, of the map. I move this like wall of infantry around me, so if I was to bust through, he would know I was going through. And a lot of men coming out of the back, so now he's finally moved his mobile construction vehicle. And we've gone for a war factory to try and get as many harvesters out as possible early on for this kind of map. Still keeping that queued pillbox ready to use whenever I needed it. So yeah, the wall is tightening in, getting closer to my base. And there we go, another refinery for me. So that's 3 refineries at the moment, now up to 4 harvesters. Just quite greedy for me usually. Usually I don't do it as bad on that. So just stretching out onto the other patches there. the light tank coming out. Yeah, just squish him. Yes, bit of roadkill. Always love a bit of roadkill. It's like at this point I was like, no, he's pushed up to there. So obviously I'm going to keep that there to distract him. Oh, a bit of fail there. I suppose at this point I was like, oh crap, I've got nothing. Just harvesters. I'm up to 5 harvesters now. Trying to get what I can out, just men, anything, while getting out to my service depot. So what Wippie's trying to do here is to lock down both the ore fields on my side by having these two gun turrets here, that's going to stop me mining from this patch here, and by setting up possibly the same on this side here, it's going to stop me mining from this patch, although that one's nearly depleted anyway. While Wippie's back at home, he's got one depleted patch, two longer distance mining there as well. So there we go, he's now closing off the whole patch now. Me trying to just cap that sneaky power plant there to knock in low power, to just to make his build time slower. So yeah, at this point there was just no point in me building an NCV. I was too preoccupied with everything else that's going on. And there's me coming in with these awesome, I always love the light tanks, just getting in that sneaky thing, just try again, keep his power let down. So, and here we are, we're pushing on to the Conyard now, just everything I can muster. Ah, what a bit of nice road kill. A quick drop of a service depot in the middle of nowhere. Oh, not like this. He's still thinking the Conyard's there. No, but he lives. And we go on the power plant. At this point, it's an all units move. Yeah, all unit move. There's me taking out the service depot. Again, at this point I thought, no, I think it was the right time to move just a bit back. Yeah, that was the right time to pull back there. Again with the gun turrets coming out. Good counter for whatever I was doing. I didn't have bulk of infantry, tanks, buildings to defend myself. And we have more roadkill! Yay! And lots of roadkill. Yep, another turret up. Just capping the bit of infantry off me. Let's see. There we go. Now we're starting commencing mining for this because I am out of resources up here. And the first artillery to come out, and now I commence building my first hind to give it some vision. So some blind shooting there, trying to hit some infantry that was staying behind, but well moved from Wippie. And there he goes again with his second service depot out, and at this point he now knows that I have radar tech and up to tier 2 units. While Wippie is still on tier 1.5. Yes, well seen here by the hinds, and I immediately changed the fire of my artilleries to the infantry squad that was coming up the side for a possible stealth attack. And then at this point I told the rest of my forces to just move on. So here we have a pillbox just to take out what they can up there. And now I'm distracted because I'm first firing on the rocket troopers. Oh, nearly got the running over. And at this point I've just like sod this, let the hind do the work, finish these guys off, and then back onto the base. Taking out the first Conyard of Wippie, and then pushing forward. So, see. I'm so divided here, you can see, oh, I'm moving some of these and some of these and trying to do all these commands at once, and it results in a lot of idle units just not getting the full potential and damage. And then I'm going in for the radar while seeing the next Conyard. So Wippie pulls back. So the more I think about it, the more I feel like I should have pushed forward, or even, yeah, gone after it with the... Oh no, the hind's empty and out of rounds. I should have pulled back. Oh, if only I just kept pushing. If only I would have got pushing, I would have got them. And we have some action up here at the top. Me just trying to defend my base with a nice amount of tanks and artillery. So there I am. The tanks now absorbing the damage while the infantry and the artillery are taking out the main bulk of their forces. I just keep pushing forward here with what I've got down there. At this point I thought, oh, there must be a base here, but again, let's just keep pushing. And now I'm going for Wippie's war factory. While the infantry are just ignoring the base, and that's a definite kill on the war factory. So it's not looking promising for Wippie, but he still keeps his second Conyard alive. At this point I pull back to try and take a look at what's over here, obviously rallying up my artillery at the same time. That's why I have one artillery, we have two. At this point maybe I should have just closed the game off and just told everybody to continue going down. Just send everything. I know it's only little numbers, but just send everything while commencing to build another harvester. Although Wippie here is on the 5 harvesters, sorry, to my 2. So I was a little bit strapped for the cash with trying to hold him off. Now at this point, obviously it was like my first warning at the time, maybe I should have just reloaded my hind, but after seeing the power plant I thought, yeah, let's go for it. Looking back, maybe put a spy in it first, but I just didn't have time to set that tactic up. So the original push was dealt with. Now Wippie is just amassing a nice little bit of bulk there, and I am moving my MCV out to claim some other spots. And I just decided to take out a poor little civilian for the single dollar that it gets me paying the cash bounty. And this artillery, no, ooh, gotta protect them artilleries a little bit better. So here come my little civilians to join my army. And more light tanks come out for Wippie, and he now move his MCV forward and begin his applause. Due to cramps. So just a quick overview. We got this little scout squad up here waiting to cap a possible harvester or Conyard. I'm up to tech center, so I'm actually up to tier 3, while Wippie is still on 1.5, and obviously he's got the bigger bulk of riflemen and E3s. Yeah, this match actually happened before the balloon match. I actually had this one before my big, yeah, round 8, before round 7. So yeah, that's how this one came through. So I was like, wow, Wippie bought us. I thought I'd check my emails. And we're back. After a little intermission due to cramps. Maybe Wippie was just collecting his thoughts for a second. Well, to be truthful, I was doing the same while checking my emails. So, yeah. Me taking a little scout with a tank, because it was all I could muster at the time. I actually trying to see if he had expanded, because obviously I was moving my MCV down. And the infantry squads of Wippie are placed up there, and then I find their base, or the starting of a base. So here comes the light tank. It has a bit of move and shooting. I don't know how effective it is in the open round. I know in the original it was quite effective. Getting the kill on the single light tank. So yeah, I was like, infantry, right, that's it, run away. So Wippie now sees that I've pulled back my MCV, tries to micro it just a little bit, and then gives up the chase. So at this point as well, I'm also low power. And Wippie now moves up. Obviously not going to push through with the pillbox there, and then I'm back up and running. He must have saw that I was low power and just thought, yep, he might be down because he's just built something big, but I was okay queuing up these power plants. It was because I was building too many refineries, which is quite a bit of a little problem there, because obviously I needed the money, so I was building refineries while trying to keep building. So yeah, and Tanya for me. First Tanya is out. So here we go. Things getting a little bit sloppy there with the artillery shots. Yep, killed my own infantry. And the civilians come in. In an angry riot. I get run over by the harvester. Epic. That's just me. Taking out people with Tanya. Perfect. And I was staying for this war factory. I wanted that war factory down. And that was it. And now just to get Tanya out of the way. Will she meet Tread? Ooh. And I have and yep, she met Tread. Tag Tread. And now I've got my first phase transport out. Hiding behind a tree, although he doesn't need to hide, he can cloak himself. And then I'm just doing I like to say it's classic, but I usually have 2 artilleries and then I have the bulk with my army. I generally don't like to overcommit on artillery. They generally don't have much good luck with me anyway, but as it comes for artillery, I find they're useful, especially in defense, and once you actually get to location, but it's just trying to keep them, look after them, especially when there's aircraft around. Obviously at this stage I'm pretty much free to roam around a bit. He still hasn't teched up to tier 2 while I'm at full tech, although still again just short on money on everything. Just money, not enough of it. And I can see this little force here kicking out with the old phase transport, just taking a good old scout. Then I decided to take a look around the area around, see if they were protected by anything. And just microing, just putting everybody in position. I was expecting the bulk, and here comes the hind for better vision. I was also trying to find some infantry just to run over. If I could find an infantry bolt, I would have just charged right into it with that base transport. And it gets spotted by the camo pillbox. And I see the infantry and I go in for the squish! So much roadkill, all of the yes. Ah, nice. And he sacrifices himself to get the artillery shot off. Perfect. And me with the radar jammer! Yay! And I'm pushing in now. Once again, just pushing in, taking out whatever I can. Load of rocket troopers here, tons of E3s, just perfect for the killing. Although they are trying to take out the Heinz. Because at that point I just want to sacrifice him and go. And poor Talia just being taken out by the hammer pillbox and again just short of taking out the MCB if he gets away again. At this point obviously the radar jammer seems to be the guy scouting for the rest of the team, but it works. And again, there's the roar. Oh, perfect squishing. Perfect squishing. Love the roadkill. And as soon as I see the conyard, I'm just going for it. Just going for it. Just take it out. So it's another war factory and a conyard taken out in this swoop. Not to mention knocking one down to really low health, being called back to repair on the service depot. And then at this point I thought, yeah, push back, recollect my numbers, and my first longbow is out to play. Now, as much as I'm not too keen on Heinz, I do have a bit of a love for the longbow at the moment. I'm not very good with helicopters, but I do like these guys for taking out just war factories really are. That's all I use them for, just taking out just that structure here or there. So as soon as I go in, just fire my volleys, get them back home. Just aiming to just knock that tech center. Taking down, not tech center, sorry, the radar dome. Taking down the radar dome will deny Wippie building AA guns, which basically means I keep my longbows up in the air for longer. Not to mention I have that sight advantage with them. Oh, the longbow! And he lives. And there goes the AA gun. And another Tanya from me. And there we go, a beautiful, beautiful shot. And the Hind again, putting the artillery to its sleep. And again, I focused on the AA gun to try and get my longbow back into play, but they were doing this. And me trying to get that old cap on the old C4 on the conyard there, Britannia. Yep, selling the radar dome again, knocking that tech level down to 1.5. We're keeping the 3. And Tanya gets the C4, and then she dies by air. Oh no, she doesn't die. Hey, managed to keep her alive this time, but not for long. Yeah, there we go. Still taken out by the helicopters. So again, just selecting all and just moving forward. And now I've just taken all my helicopters, just taking a quick scout around, knowing there's no radar dome, it's just here, and I see the war factory, and I just put everything on it. And I move in with my force, seeing that the infantry had all moved from the front of the base to the back. I just took that opportunity to take out what I can. I don't now sending in the tanks for the road kill, and they stop just before the infantry. Try to select them with the artillery, you see, which is now going to suffer the fate of the light tanks. Just try and send everything to that war factory. So at this point now, just trying to recuperate everything, just keep that flow, that continual pressure. And I also noticed that these guys have also just capped a harvester from me, so it's time to deal with it. Tanya back out again for me now. At this point, obviously, I've got GPS. I can see that the infantry are there on the marker. Just getting the artillery just to say hi. Maybe if they've been cheeky and gone for the squish, but keep these numbers of longbows coming up, keep the tanks rolling. I didn't build as much infantry as I would have liked to, but just keep that continual pressure. And at this point I was like, yep, get that war factory, take it out, and I snuck in the artillery at the same time. And then I get another artillery, continue these guys' wrath, and they just fly straight into an AA gun. I should have kept pushing forward that way and got onto the radar then, to deny them the tech. But now I've seen that the only Conyard is right in front of me, no army, no, just one lone pillbox. Call them all together. And now I just push him through. Target obviously the pillbox first. And then gone for the war Conyard. He tried to undeploy. This time that's it, pushing forward and got it. He wasn't getting away from me this time. So there was no way of Wippie to now build any structures. And then I just push in with Tanya to claim the victory.